think I got something that might brighten your day. Hey guys, we're back at it. New camera, kind of playing with it, so that's more what this video is about, but figured I'd kind of show you guys a little simple basic maintenance that I know not everybody has. I know a lot of people that I know it, but I have met my fair share of individuals that don't know how to do this and make shops do it. Maybe they just haven't tried, whatever the case may be, but what we're gonna do is a simple light bulb change. So yeah, let's get at it. Next thing you're gonna wanna do is if you know you have a light bulb out, you probably know which light bulb you have that's out, high or low, or left or right, maybe. But if you don't, obviously come in your vehicle and locate your on-off for your bulbs. Kick that bad boy on, and then take a look to find out which one you have. Well, you can see I got one out. Now, I'm gonna replace both of mine. Reason being is you always replace everything in pairs. The reason why you replace it in pairs is if one goes, the other one's not far behind. General rule. So you just might as well do them both at the same time. That way you both know they're good and you don't have like a road trip down the road and you're like, oh hey, it went out one, and you get pulled over and all that other bullshit. So we're gonna pop the hood and then I'm gonna show you what it looks like underneath. Alright, so the next thing that we're gonna do is we gotta get this top cover off here. And most of the time, they're just some simple type of pop tab. They're real easy to get out. You can use a pocket knife, you can use a screwdriver, you can use one of those windshield wishbones. You can also use an actual clip tool like this and pop those out real quick. So that's what we're gonna do. Another tip is whenever you're taking stuff apart, always have somewhere dedicated for that. For me, I like to use paint mixing. See how easy this is. So, clip tool. There's two parts to these. There's the center part, right there. And then there's that. So, clip tool works. Flathead screwdriver. Boom. That works. Last but not least, universal prying tool. So we'll go to this guy right here. Now sometimes these can be a real pain in the ass to get out because they'll be caked in dirt, they'll be caked in mud, they'll be just maybe old and worn out. But sometimes when you do that, you'll actually end up having to use like two tools or two knives or two screwdrivers or two of something to get on both sides of it so you can actually get it to lift. Now in really bad scenarios where for whatever reason they just ain't working, you cut them. You just grab a set of dikes and you go and you snip them on off. And then you just go to your auto body store, auto parts store, and you pick them up because they're only like at max 40 cents. So and if you're even paying 40 cents, just realize that's stupidly expensive. These things are stupid cheap because every manufacturer uses them on automotives that I have seen, with the exception of the cars that I haven't touched and probably never will touch, like a McLaren or a Bugatti. But like GM, Chevrolet, Ford, Toyota, Honda, all those, they use these. Hell, I've seen these on motorcycles too, so. There we go. Bob Jonty, she's up. Now, next part is, I'm going to show you guys the easy one first. And then I'm going to take apart the hard one, because the hard one, I got to take apart my airbox, which I mean, really not that hard. Well, actually, this one's probably going to be worse. So, Mr. Battery is in the way. So So I'm gonna have to pull Mr. Battery because I'm not Japanese and I got meat clubs for fucking hands. So I'm gonna have to pull this battery out of here. So it'll be black first, black last. And it's another little tidbit for you if you're ever messing with batteries, black first, black last. Because you disconnect the negative, you first get that out of the way, and then that red can hit whatever the hell it wants, and there's not going to be any arky sparky. So black first, black last. But in my truck, since we got to go and do this, I do believe those are 8mm on both of those. So we're gonna have an 8 or 10, same thing on this side, and then down below there you got your 13 little millimeter. We'll pull that, lift it out, and then I'll be able to get, hopefully by this windshield washer reservoir. Yep, get by the windshield washer reservoir, and I should be able to sneak in there and get that out. If not, I'll have enough out of the way that I might be able to loosen up the reservoir to give me a little bit more wiggle room. And then on this side, because this is going to take me a little while, I got to pull these bad boys out. There's 2 of them. Yep, there's 2 on this. Pull my air filter and then pull all this, and I gotta pull this whole box out. And then once I get that, I'll have really good access, comparatively speaking. Well, you can kind of see the hole that removing that battery made for me. Get my hand up in there, and then to show you kind of what light bulb it is, I'm gonna be going right right there. Now my headlights are real simple. All mine require is a nice little twist, pull it out, and then I'm good to go. There are some that have this wire spring style that kind of go over half of it, and just take a look at whatever you're working on and you'll be able to figure out. The headlights are pretty simple 9 times out of 10. I haven't come across one that's difficult at all, even on some of the more, I guess from my area, more rare vehicles. So yeah, I'm gonna get that popped out. But before we do that, we're gonna go parts. How do you figure out parts? Well, parts are generally easy. 9 times out of 10, I recommend going to Napa. Why? Because I've always had good luck with Napa. They've always given me good parts. They've always just had good service and general use overall. I've had bad experiences with other places from either incompetence from the employee or just bad parts sourcing from that parts supplier. So I'm a big fan of Napa. So anyways, go into there most of the time. You just give them your year, make, model, and engine size, and then tell them what you're looking for. And if you're not exactly sure what it's called, they'll probably be able to help you figure it out. Most of the Napa guys that I've ever dealt with are awesome to work with. So yeah, shout out to Napa. But the ones I got are H11s. They're just probably the generic ones that they have there in the store. Nothing fancy, nothing special about them. Maybe one day down the road I'll look at getting LED lights, but right now I don't want to do that. Kind of broke. So yeah, I'll get these bad boys installed, and then or get this one installed, and then I'll take apart the air box on the other side and show you that. Right? Right, another thing when it comes to light bulbs and dealing with parts, you get your old one out and you got your new one, compare them. Like put them side by side and look at them and make sure that they look exactly identical, because if there's something that's off, there's a good chance that you have the wrong light bulb for your vehicle. or marker light or whatever the case may be. So take a good look at them. Also, take a closer look at your older one just in case, because if you see brown spots on the inside where your terminal hooks up or things along those lines, that can tell you other interesting things, like maybe this connection doesn't have a good seal and water's getting in there, or there's a short in that part and it's arcing over and causing it, and that might be because the water that's getting in there. But pay attention to things like this, and it'll give you clues about other things that may or may not be happening in your vehicle. So yeah, and then when you go to install your new light bulb, do everything you can not to put your fingerprints on the bulb itself. Why? Because the oils on your hand will shorten the life of that bulb. So the cleaner you can keep it while you're sliding it in, that's what she said, the longer the life you should get out of that bulb. All right? So we got the block or the air box out, and we got it disconnected, and we're in here. So I'm gonna kind of got it set up right now, mocked up, so you can see more of what it looks like. I didn't want to try and record and be in there at the same time, and I don't have good lighting, if you can't tell. So, but this is airbox. It goes in to the truck just like this, just where this hole is, right? So what you generally have is depending on your year, make, and model, you have 2 to 4 screws. All they are is generally, like mine, right up here at the top, 2, and then they got tabs down here in the bottom that just kind of clip in there. Now you will sometimes see 4, which if they have 4, I feel bad for you, because getting down to that last one is generally a real pain in the ass. The other thing I did to make it a bit easier, so I wasn't fighting as much, is I had this little wiring harness here. These 2 clips, that one and that one, that go into those 2. So I got this off, and now I loosened up that hose clamp, C-clamp, belt clamp, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Loosen that bad boy up. Oh, sorry. Loosen that bad boy up. And then the other thing that we did, pulled this out. And then I do this just to make sure that there's nothing funky going on. Pull that off, gives me access to here, right? And then pulled my air filter out, which that needs to be changed. And then I started looking around in here, and I wanted to make sure there's no fastener in there. Even though I've had these apart before, I still double check, because I buy pre-owned vehicles and people are stupid and do stupid shit to them. So I just wanted to make sure that this was good and okay. And all this one is it's got a, oh, I got a busted tab, look at that. But it's got a couple tabs, boom, boom, and there's supposed to be one right there. That popped down into here and there, and I think that other one's supposed to kind of sit in there. But yeah, and that's how your truck, or my truck, gets air. Your vehicle will be similar but different varieties, but as a general rule of thumb, this should be more than enough information for you to get into your vehicle and swap it out. Sometimes other vehicles do like some weird stuff, like having a fender liner, brain fart, fender liner cap. Sometimes they'll have a fender liner cap or slot or vent or opening in here. They have to take a couple screws out and then go on through and get your headlight. And that's generally more on either car. I've seen it a lot on cars, but I haven't seen it a whole lot on trucks, with the exception of certain years of Dodge Rams. They did have it where you had to get back there to get to some of the lights, not all of the lights. But also check your owner's manual. It should tell you a good way to get to doing your lights. If they say take it to the shop, to each their own. I don't know. But I hope this made your life a little bit easier. I'm gonna get this thing put back together, and then I'm gonna start getting set up to try and do another video for you guys today, because I got some free time. So hopefully you like it. Hit that button, leave comments down below. Y'all have a good one, alright? Bye.